So this will be my third video on the question regarding the question. And hopefully it'll be my last one. After this, I want to get more into actual separation and issues that will arise from that. So what we're going to talk about today is Brexit. And I know a lot of people say that, Brexit has nothing to do with what's going on here, and I disagree. It's actually incredibly similar to what's going on here. Particularly when you take into account people who vote in order to express their displeasure with a government as opposed to actually wanting to separate. And the issue with the current referendum is the question that was written is vague enough and open enough that people who may want to vote in order to express their displeasure might think they're actually safe to do that. And I don't think they are. In fact, I think that's one of the most dangerous things about this question. So let's go back to Brexit. David Cameron in Britain took on a very similar stance to what we're hearing from Premier Daniel Smith right now. The voice of the people. I don't agree that it should happen. I think it will fail, but it is important that we give them their voice. So that rolled with that. For 2 years they did that, with Cameron saying, I think it's going to fail. And what happened was the people who were pro-separation realized very quickly that there's a significant number of people who can be convinced to vote for an issue if they think it's going to fail. And they're trying to be strategic about it. They're voting so that it's close, so that it fails, but not by much. And that way, they're hoping they can scare the shit out of a government and get a little more power in their lives. As was expressed with Brexit, it became a real problem because it was a binding referendum and it passed by like 51%. Because more people thought that they would just strategically vote to show the government they were unhappy at the moment. It's been 10 years since that happened. Britain is still trying to figure out what's up and how to sort their mess out. And unlike Alberta, which is talking about becoming a new country, Britain had all of its social and political infrastructure in place before Brexit. All of that infrastructure stayed in place after Brexit. Their mess is separating themselves from the integration with the EU. But they didn't have to come up with a new currency. They didn't have to come up with a new military. They didn't have to come up with NHIS or NHS. NHS existed before, it exists now. It didn't cost them anywhere near as much as it would for Alberta to say we are going to throw out the entire federal infrastructure and rebuild it ourselves. So what took Britain 10 years and still has not completed, I expect would take Alberta 20 years. So we go back to these people who are going to be convinced that this question, because of the way it's worded, is an excellent opportunity to show that they don't like liberal governments. You better be careful with that. Because here's the deal. That question was called last week. The vote is in October. 5 months, we're going to have investment instability and planning instability because of that question. In October, if the leave or the continue asking the question folks lose by a significant amount, that instability starts to fade and go away. Not the day after the vote, but over the course of the next couple of months, things calm down and get back to normal. People invest money, people make plans. If that vote hits 51%, because a bunch of people think it's an excellent idea to say, screw Carney, I want to show that I'm angry. That instability that we're going to experience for the next 5 months is going to go on for at least 2 years, because that's how long it's going to take to sort the question out to get the second referendum out of the way. Now, the second referendum may lose the I want to show power voters, but it's not guaranteed. So the difference, 5 months, 2.5 years. It's those people that are going to vote based on their projected feelings of power that frighten me with this. That can cause us a lot of damage. Just that one misinterpretation. So when people bring up Brexit and the absolute mess that it created for Britain, and somebody tells you this is different, it is not different. It is not different at all. The only difference is that it's not an immediate separation. But 2.5 years of investment instability in the province will absolutely hurt everybody. For, against, government, citizen. That length of instability will do huge amounts of damage and set us back by a good long time. And that's it. It's short because this is my second video of the day. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. I think we're going to talk about mortgages. What happens to your mortgage if all of a sudden your bank belongs to another country? Take care.